time.
Fantasy.
Yeah. Time.
To take a special kind of man to wear an elf suit, and by golly, I'm that man. All right.
This is amazing. TSS Fantasy. This is like an orgasm. If I had a cigarette, I'd smoke it. I'm pumped to be here. This is the show of shows.
It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time.
How the fuck you got me up this damn early, Jason?
It's time.
I use mayo over sour cream, yeah.
Right. That's because you have high cholesterol.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Yeah!
Indeed, it's Pro Bowl weekend, so womp, 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 to say the least. But we got an exciting show nonetheless. As you can see, we have someone new to the crew today, Miss Maryjane Esq, in to talk about Tankgate. Can't wait to bring up that. Miss Maryjane Cooper, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
All right, great intro there, babe. We're going to work on that a little bit. Also, let's welcome to the studio, Nick, you got flandered macaronis.
Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TSS Fantasy. You can find me on Twitter at YouGotFlandered, and you can also find all of our wonderful, beautiful merchandise on TSSFantasy.com. We have mugs, we have hats, we got water bottles, whatever Cooper wants to put on there, we got it.
Yes, indeed. Listen, we're the fantasy show of the people, so it was whatever the people want on there. That's for sure.
Well, I thought you were the people, so.
Indeed, I represent the people. Also, welcome to the studio, Fred, the Jester Reyes.
Hello, everybody. How you doing today? Follow me on Twitter at TSS Jester. Let's go. Let's have a great show.
Indeed. We got an exciting show tonight. Hopefully, you're watching us live on Belly Up TV. That's our new channel. You can find us on Roku, or if you have Apple TV. So we have our whole new channel, live shows every Friday night at 10, and then repeating thereafter. So just check that out. Make sure. Also, you can go to our YouTube page, subscribe to us there. Also, visit us, tssfantasy.com. Nick mentioned our merchandise. We got rankings. We got all types of stuff there for you. Check us out there. You can also hit the link. Go to Belly Up Sports Podcast. Check out all the great podcasts on there. Wrestling to racing, we got you covered. Speaking of Belly Up, don't forget next Sunday, we're going to be a part of a big game, Belly Up Big Game Bonanza. We'll be playing Fantasy Feud Super Bowl edition. We're going to have some guests. We're going to do a lot of fun things about Super Bowl food. We're going to be doing that on TSS Fantasy too, but we're going to be doing a special one with the whole crew. So be checking that out as well. Also, don't forget, we're now part of Burns Radio. So we're back on the radio, guys. Make us part of your morning commute at 8 a.m. We are the fantasy show of the people. All right, guys, we're going to get things started tonight. I know it's been a long week, so we're going to do a quick little championship breakdown. All right, so last week was championship weekend. The week prior was known as the best weekend of football ever. And then coming to this week, it was the best championship weekend ever. Two good games going down to the stretch. Real quick, bring up Rams 20, 49ers 17 in the NFC Championship. Matt Stafford pulling it out in the end. He had 337 yards, 2 TDs. He did throw for a pick. Cam Akers was the lead carrier, but didn't do much on the ground, 48 yards for him. Cooper Kupp, the story of this season, possible MVP of the league this year, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. I know he got Miss Maryjane Cooper Esquire a championship. OBJ also 113 yards as well, contributing in the playoffs when it matters. 49ers, Jimmy G, 232, 2 TDs, and Deebo Samuel, again, being the best football player in football, rushing the ball for 26 yards, 72 yards in the air with a touchdown. Guys, I'll go with you first. Nick, what'd you think of the game?
I thought it was a very good game, highly entertaining. The best team that day won, and I am looking for an outstanding Super Bowl. It's going to be, I'm going to project it's going to be highly an offensive show.
All right. We're gonna have a Super Bowl show next week, so we'll talk. We got lots of time to talk about that. Sure. Let's go on. I'm watching the time here, and I don't want to spend too much time. It's been a whole week, so Fred, real quick, what's your thoughts on the NFC Championship?
I thought it was a good game. A little bit better than I thought. I thought it was actually going to be a blowout by at least 2 touchdowns. 49ers held it down. Kudos to them.
Miss Maryjane Cooper, what did you think of it?
I thought all the games last week were really great. So it was very entertaining, and I was rooting for Matt Stafford. So.
Indeed. Yeah, I think we both were on that one. And then again, in the AFC Championship, what a great game we had. Went to overtime, Bengals 27-24. Look, I mean, if you weren't a rock, hiding under a rock, you've seen this ball game. What a great game it was. The one thing I will note, me, Mary Jane talked about it. I was kind of flipping out a little bit because as you watch the game at the end, Joe Mixon was hit by his own player at the end. Thought he got hit by someone else, got up and flipped the ball up. Now, back in the day, that would have been considered a fumble for sure. But they called him down, and I was flipping out about it. But at the same time, it would have been unfair for the Bengals to lose that way. What a great ball game. Rooting for the Bengals anyway, so we're just happy to see it. Your thoughts real quick. Fred, we'll go to you first.
It was a fumble. That's it.
Right.
They would have been on a blooper reel for the next 10 years.
Yeah, agreed. It was a definite fumble. That was just, it was funny how, I was talking to Mary Jane at the time when it happened, and I'm like, Romo missed it, and they're talking about a legal formation. That's not what Andy Reid's freaking out about. I was like going crazy about it. But anyway, Nick, your thoughts on it?
It was not a fumble, and the Bengals, they did what they need to do. They're the championship, and I can't wait to see it.
Indeed. Miss Maryjane, what did you think?
I mean, it was crazy. The whole game was like back and forth. It was just a really good game. I was thoroughly happy and thrilled with both the games last week. So.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, they're both really, really good. So we're happy to see that. Look, at the end of the day, we go through a long season of football, all these great games, and now we're down to the nitty gritty. And it's so great that just the few that are left have been great. So that's hands up to the NFL for that. All right, so that concludes the breakdown. Let's get on to some news. All right, let's talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady finally, listen, now if this was a couple years ago, I'd be sitting here going, hallelujah, it's finally over. But, he went on to Tampa, which he didn't really hurt me as much. But what a great career Tom Brady had. It's fun to say Miami had his number, but at the end of the day, the rings say Tom Brady had Miami's number at the end of the day. So anyway, great career for Tom Brady, and what a great way for him to go out, going into Tampa, getting them a title. And then, had a great year this year. They just were, had injuries at the end of the day. So great career for Tom Brady for sure. Nick, your thoughts on Brady's retirement?
I'm surprised that I'm actually torn on this because it's kind of like, what does the world do without Superman? I mean, it's like you couldn't wait for him to retire. You couldn't wait for him to stop seeing his Super Bowls, and it's like he's gone. He's really gone. It's like, what do you do? It was weird. All when he was a Patriot, hated him, couldn't stand him. Now that he's a Buck, I found myself actually rooting for him because you got to see his personality. But that's not the point. Fantastic career, and it's gonna be weird just not put on the game on Sundays and not hearing his name.
Yeah, indeed. People like Elway, Marino, as we grew up, that's one of those things where you're just like, well, we're just not there anymore. It's crazy. Fred, your thoughts on Brady?
I think he should have given it one more year. I'm glad he's retired. I'm trying to see him every year, honestly. But I would have gave Tampa one more year because I think he still has the talent to compete one more time.
I mean, the avocado shakes are doing him well. I mean, he looked good. That line looks good. Come back with a healthy, Evans, Godwin, Gronk, maybe. Yeah, I agree. I think he probably could have given one more run. But listen, at the end of the day, who the hell are we? He's making that money. He's chilling. Whatever.
Yes, other businesses, beautiful wife, make
Right,
money.
exactly.
So everybody's
Like,
great.
Bye-bye. I feel you, bro. Congratulations, Tom. Babe, thoughts on Mr. Brady?
I mean, I have a couple of thoughts, but I'll keep them short. One, I was really surprised in his farewell that he didn't he gave props to Tampa Bay and was like, thank you, but he didn't give a nod to his fan base in Boston. And I thought that was really weird because he was there forever and he was only in Tampa 2 years. And I just thought that was kind of shitty of him. Because if I was from Boston and that was my quarterback for all those years, a lot of those people were still wearing Brady jerseys and going to see him in Tampa. I thought that was kind of I don't know. I didn't like that. Second, my only other thing is, will he continue with this outrageous diet? Will he start eating bread? What's going to happen? I want to know. Is he going to get fat? These are all the things I want to know.
Yeah, indeed. Well, again, good riddance, Tom. Sorry, I'm done with you, bro. I'm done.
Career, though. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Great career.
Yeah, for real. I mean, he's been a pain in my side for so many years. But
but he did thank everyone in Boston when he left the Patriots.
Yeah, they don't need to think twice.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Retirement, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. He didn't say anything about Belichick neither, which I found interesting. All right,
yeah,
let's go. Let's move on to the Washington football team. I put the general there because it's a general name. That's why I put it there, because that's why I put the generals. General name, what are we doing here with the Commander? Listen, the Commanders, to me, I thought we were getting away from the whole racist thing. To me, when you say Commander, it makes me think of those guys with the white wigs on and back in the colonial days, the racist people, AKA. So it just seems weird to me that that's what they went with. Guys, your thoughts on it, though? Maybe that's just my weird way of thinking. Fred, what are your thoughts on it? We'll go to you first.
I mean, I like Commanders. It's cool. You're in D.C. You're going to command the troops. I mean, it works. It works. I don't have too much to say about it. Better than the Redskins. The Generals play the Harlem Globetrotters, so that ain't working. And the Commanders works for me because it's in D.C.
Indeed. All right, Nick, what are your thoughts? You like it?
No, I think it's a ridiculous. We need a name, so let's come up with something.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're making jokes all over the radio saying they're going to be called the commies, for short. I think they should have went. Personally, I think they should have went with the Hogs because their old line in the '80s was known as the Hogs.
Yep.
It's better than the Commanders. It's they better win. If you have a name like the Commanders, you better win, and they haven't been winning. The only headlines that they've been making lately is Daniel Snyder's inappropriate behavior.
Jeez, this guy.
But we're gonna go with Maryjane on that. I think it's a stupid name, the Commies.
Yeah, right. Listen, I don't usually get when we start talking about team names whatever, but boy, you really hit it on the head there. I like that. Why not pay homage to the Hogs, man? Back in the day, I like what you're saying there. Babe, what do you think of those of the name change?
Look, I just think any name sounds weird for them because I'm just so used to the Redskins, although I get the implications of what that name means. And so I'm not oblivious, and I'm definitely glad that it went just for, those kinds of reasons. But I just feel like every name sounds weird. I don't know. I think the Senators would have been good, but I mean, I realize Ottawa has that, not saying sport, but you know what I mean? I just feel like something more appropriate to the capital. You know what I mean? Commanders is a dumb name.
The monuments.
Monuments. Right, good, yeah. Anything other than the Redskins, though, to me, it's going to be weird anyway. So, I mean, at the end of the day. All right, let's get on. We got some coaching hirings, and I'll be honest with you guys. I'll kick it to you guys if you want to talk about coach hirings. But to me, it's so early. Who cares? But, Nick, I'm going to go to you first because I know you like to talk about coaches. Any of these coaching hirings that you want to bring up or excite you or anything you want to bring up about the coach hiring?
In particular, because we'll just go with Doug Peterson. it was just funny because he was interviewed in mid-December, and they kind of said, well, they went through a whole batch of coaches, and they said, well, no one else is going to take the job. Dougie, you want it? So that's kind of what it appeared to be like, and it just good luck. He won a Super Bowl, but we'll see. Again, the thing that's going to fix that team is they need number one, a new owner, one that actually knows what the hell they're doing, and two, fix the offensive line. Everything in the middle of that sandwich, it doesn't matter. I mean, they hired Peterson because they want to get right with Trevor Lawrence, and I get it, but you don't have to be right to get it right.
Yeah, agreed. All right. So speaking of coaches, now here is some big coaching news, and that's listen. I'm lucky enough; my wife gets paid very well by the hour, and since she's here on my dime, let's bring her in for Maryjane Sidebar.
This guy got the people's court thing.
It would have been nicer if you had like Elle from like Legally Blonde.
That is awesome.
All right, babe. Hey, we talked about this. The music's done. On you. Go ahead.
All right. So on February 1st, the class action lawsuit was filed by Brian Flores. So this is kind of like big news right now, right? So that class action lawsuit alleges that, well, first of all, it's against the NFL, Miami Dolphins, the New York Giants, and then 29 other unnamed teams. But so basically he's suing all of the NFL. He's suing for injunctive relief primarily, but he's also, so injunctive relief is I'm going to make you stop doing something, right? He's also suing for compensatory damages. So he wants to be paid what he lost out on, right? So the reason he's suing, he's alleging racial discrimination in hiring and retention of coaches. He's also suing, basically he refers to like the concussion settlement and the race norming that's going on there, and he gives different examples of how the NFL has been discriminatory in its hiring and retention of head coaches, but not just head coaches. He goes from owners all the way down to players. He even talks about Colin Kaepernick in his 58-page lawsuit. So he is suing. He talks about sham interviews in accordance with the Rooney Rule, which was implemented about 20 years ago, that requires for teams to interview 2 minority coaches each time they have a job posting in order to be compliant with the rule. One of those coaches has to be interviewed in person. So that's how the rule has evolved, and that's what it is right now. And he's alleging that they're just doing it as a sham to be compliant with the rule, but they've already made their decision before they even interview them, or it's not really for good reason that they're even going through with the interview. And they have to prep for these interviews. They're pretty gruesome, apparently, pretty long. So he's alleging a lot of discrimination. He also talks about how the Miami Dolphins owner took him out on his personal yacht in 2020 and offered him $100,000 for every game that he would tank to get into a better draft position. So he's put some pretty bold things in here, including in his brief, he included text messages from Bill Belichick, where Bill Belichick congratulates him on getting a job with the New York Giants, but accidentally texted the wrong Brian. So, and the white Brian is the one who got the job. And so, yeah, anyway, I mean, it's very interesting. I don't know how this will pan out because, I did do some research about coaches in the NFL, and their contracts that they sign, and they typically all have arbitration agreements. So it's like a clause. If you don't know what an arbitration agreement is, I guarantee you you're in one. If you have a credit card, you're in one. Basically, sometimes when you have a credit card with a certain company, they'll say, instead of suing us, you can't just take us to court. You can't sue us. You have to go through arbitration. Arbitration is a process where it's basically like mediation. It's an alternative dispute resolution service that avoids the long, drawn out, costly court process. And instead, it's a mediation where you sit in a room and the lawyers for both sides, they sit in the room and you talk about the differences and how you're going to overcome them. Typically, they go in favor of the arbiter, right? So like the NFL as an employer, a lot of us as employees sign arbitration clauses as well with our employers. Now, Brian Flores' lawsuit he is claiming 1981, which is a section for discrimination. And the Supreme Court has repeatedly held that 1981 claims of discrimination in workplace can be arbitrated. So I don't know where this will go. I'm pretty sure that you'll see very shortly the NFL will file a response, because they're required to file a response, and they will ask the court to dismiss this, and they will cite the fact that he signed an arbitration clause. So, I was that clear enough for you guys, or
nice way to close it there, babe.
if
Yeah.
you have
So
any questions,
yeah.
I can
So
surely answer them.
yeah, for sure. So I guess I get, and to sum it up in a couple of things here, because we do got to get running here. So, and I want the fellas to get theirs in. But just really quick, to me, the biggest thing is, let me just say, on the pay to not win, I'm sure that goes on all the time. Hugh Jackson's come out and said it. And I'm sure that goes on a lot. So, whatever. That is kind of what it is. And to me, Brian Flores isn't wrong. I heard him on the CBS morning show with Nate Burleson talking about how he was embarrassed. And I feel you. Like, why am I going to an interview when you've already hired someone just to be your little patsy? So I feel him on that respect. But if that was the way it went down, we don't know that. But that's just my thoughts on it. Fred, let's go to you, and then we'll kick it in Nick.
I totally agree. I think Flores got shafted. I mean, damn. I really don't care about the Broncos one, because whatever, I can still do an interview drunk. But with the Giants, I mean, honestly, if I'm the NFL, I'm gonna punish one person. It's gonna be the Miami Dolphins, and especially the owner. I mean, you can't. I mean, we all know what goes on, but you can't get caught. You can't offer $100,000 per loss. That does not look good for the NFL. That would be the only team that I punish.
Whatever. You're just a Jets fan. Nick, your thoughts, sir?
I have many, but I will keep it as brief as I possibly can.
Please.
So Brian Flores he's basically had the courage to bring to light everything that everybody already knows about what goes on. It's not just in the NFL; it goes on every business in the world. Truth be told, I actually got a rejection letter thanking me for an interview one time that I never even went to. So I know what that's like. It was kind of ridiculous. Hey, thank you for applying, coming in for the interview. We chose somebody else. I never went to the interview. I was never called for the interview. Secondly, the tanking. If that's absolutely positively true and it can be proven, Stephen Ross, I'm sorry, you should lose your team. That's just ridiculous right there. If it comes out in court that you're paid to lose, you are sullying the game. You're sullying your fan base. And I heard on today. I was listening to Colin Cowherd. Dave Wannstedt was on there. He was offered by another team to do that, and he said, "I can't. I'm going to lose a lot. I'm going to lose the locker room." So again, a lot of these things that are coming out are going to come true. I don't think he'll ever coach in the NFL again because it's happening, unfortunately. And the spirit of the Rooney Rule is lost. It has turned into a dog and pony show.
very quick point, because you kept saying when this comes out in court. So I think it's not going to, because it's going to be an arbitration. And if it goes to arbitration, they have the right to keep all of that under lock and key, and we'll never know what actually happens. So I think that also sucks. There is one way he can get around that, and that is by, filing with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which I didn't mention, but, he does say in his brief that he is going to file with them. So if he does, that will come up, and we will get to see more. But there are limits on like caps of damages and things like that if he goes that route. But that would be the only way I think it's ever going to go to court. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to ever find out.
Miss Maryjane Cooper, I cannot thank you enough for coming in and educating us. I know I feel a little more educated after that for sure. But listen, it's Friday night and it's game night. We got a game night. It's actually the dating game. So if you can stick around if you want to check that out. I prefer go ahead and get in the shower, put the hair back because it's Netflix and chill soon. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, talk about my balls getting taken care of, and we're going to come back with our dating game.
Roses are red, violets are blue, but don't let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for the special occasion. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the promo code BELLYUPFANTASY for 20% off and free shipping. The holidays went by so quickly. Did you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped is just the thing every guy needs in their life to make each and every day just a little more special. The number one product in this package is the Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. And get this, the trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate balls. It even has a 4000K LED spotlight so you can shave anywhere your heart desires. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code BELLYUPFANTASY at manscaped.com today. Roses.
All right, guys. Like I said, it is game night. So tonight, I got a new game for you. It's basically, before we get into the whole minutia of it, it's basically you're guessing the player. We've all seen the game where you see the silhouette of the player, you hear some clues about the player, and you guess it, right? Well, the commish, of course, went into the lab and figured out a way to make it fun. So it's time to play the fantasy dating game. Let's get it on.
I almost went into base.
All right, so the premise of this game is that, back in the day when you watched the dating game, there was one gender on one side with three other genders on the other, of the opposite, of course, of the other side, and they would guess, the other one gender would guess clues and kind of guess who they'd want to date. Well, in this game, what we're going to do is you're going to basically guess who each person is and try to match them with the player. So you'll have a player and three contestants. First, though, you got to guess who the player is, and that's who's going to control the round. So I'm going to play the first clue, or excuse me, there'll be three clues for the first one. After it's done, you guys get a chance to guess who is the hot date. All right, so here it is. I'm going to play the clue for you. Like I said, once the clue's done, just like Family Feud, just you can go ahead and shout out the answer. Oh.
I almost went into baseball instead of football my senior year of high school. When I went into the pros, I made my first start in week 2 of 2020. I also played college football at Oregon as quarterback. Who am I?
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. All right, Nick, you control the round, so you get to hear the clues first from contestant 1, 2, and 3. So just go ahead and shout out who you'd like to hear the first clue from.
3.
Number 3. Let's hear what he's got to say.
I went undrafted in the 2017 NFL draft.
Do you have a guess?
I didn't hear it.
I did. And no, I don't have a guess.
All right, let's go to contestant 2.
I played rock, paper, scissors with Jerry Judy in college for route dibs.
Any guess?
I'm thinking. It's all. No, let's go to number 1.
Let's go to contestant number 1.
I played college football at the University of Oregon and was inducted in their Hall of Fame.
All right, so that was 1, 2, and 3. You guys have any guesses before we go to round 2?
I'm going to guess contestant number 1.
Sure.
Joey Harrington.
Oh, okay. So you're guessing the match. So remember, it has to match Justin Herbert. So remember, that's what you're looking.
Oh, well then,
the match is Justin
I'm
Herbert.
sorry.
But that's okay. Let me go ahead and hit you with this first. All right, let's go to round 2. Here's contestant. I'm just going to control it this way so we can move it along.
Right.
Let's go to round 2. Here's contestant number 1 for round 2.
I played myself in Adam Sandler's The Water Boy.
Here's contestant number 2.
I hold the Alabama single game touchdown record.
Contestant number 3.
My nickname is Pound for Pound.
All right. So after that round, do you have any connection with Justin Herbert there with any of those contestants?
I'd say contestant number 2.
Okay. And what would his connection be, sir?
He knows Justin Herbert.
All right, let's move on to round 3. Let's see if you can get it by then. Just shout it out if you know it. Here we go. Contestant number 1.
I was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1993, and I also had a great broadcasting career.
Contestant number 2.
My nickname is the Slim Reaper.
And contestant number 3.
I wore the number 30 from high school all the way up until my pro career.
Any guesses?
I know who number 2 is.
Okay. Well, you get a point for those, but you get 3 points if you get the connection. So who is number 2 then, sir? You got
Devontae Smith.
Devonta Smith for number 2. You are correct. Good job. So you get a point for that. Now we still got to figure out the connection here. So do you got anything for contestant 1?
John Madden.
John Madden. All right, one other. Do you have a guess for contestant 1 there, Nick?
He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1993.
Had a great Hall of Fame career. He also was in The Waterboy and played himself.
Oh, The Waterboy. I should know this. I can't remember. All
right, we got a long game. So yay or nay?
No, I don't have a guess.
Fred, you got one more?
I think so. Chris Collinsworth.
The Hall of Famer we were looking for was Dan Fouts. That's who we were looking for that one. Now, the connection there, you guys missed it, is number 3. He's obviously the connection with Justin Herbert. Any last guess who you think it might be?
What was the clue again?
He was number 30. Yep, number 30, high school through pros. He's Pound. His nickname is Pound for Pound.
Oh, no.
Wow. Here you go for your delay. Nick only gets a point for this round, and here's your connection. It was Austin Eckler.
That makes so much sense.
So you missed it on that one. No big deal. So for round two, what I did, instead of having someone get control of the first round, that was kind of how it was supposed to go, but didn't really work out that way. I went ahead and just gave you who the hot date is for the player on this one. So it's Tom Brady. That's the guy. That's the player.
Okay.
All right. Now you're going to be looking for his match with these contestants. So here we go with clue number 1 with contestant 1.
I attended Hofstra University from 1991 to 1994, where I was number 2 all time in receiving and receiving yards.
Wayne Corbett.
Wayne Corbett.
Oh, Nick. Nick got before. Oh, wow. I'm shocked that you guys grabbed that one. I guess he's the only Hofstra player. Great job from Nick. It was Wayne Corbett. Not the match, though, for Brady, however. So we at least can knock out contestant number 1. Let's go now to the first clue to contestant number 2.
I was drafted by New England in the 3rd round from the University of Pittsburgh.
Any guesses?
That's it.
That's just only one clue. All right, that was the first clue. So, all right, no biggie. Let's go to the contestant number 3.
My great-grandfather was an Olympian cyclist. He represented the U.S. in 1924.
Any guesses?
This is terrible.
I'll take that as a no. Let's go to round 2. This is contestant 2. This is his clue number 2.
I didn't play football until my senior year at Taylor Alderdice High School.
All right, let's go to contestant number 3.
When I played my hometown team, the Steelers, I caught 3 touchdowns and became the youngest to do so.
All right, any guesses for contestant 2 or 3? One of them's a match for Brady. Just remember that. All right, we're going to round 3. So here are your final clues now. Here are your final clues. Contestant
I need a
number
point.
2.
I was named to the Pro Bowl 5 times and inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2012 as a running back. I also played for the Patriots and the Jets.
Curtis Martin.
I want to give this one to Fred. I saw him. We saw him give. He was talking earlier. I saw him earlier when it was playing. To be fair,
You did not.
Oh yeah, I did. I promise. I
said Curtis Martin. You were
like, and plus it's his home. I can't make him look that bad for his hometown team. So yes,
he is that bad.
Our contestant was Curtis Martin. That was contestant 2. So obviously. There is the contestant 3 is the connection. You guys have missed it, but let's see if you can snag who it is. I guarantee, though, after this clue, you guys are going to be yelling. I think you're going to get it after this. So here we go. Contestant 3, let's hear the final clue.
I was also the WWE 24/7 champion and am famous for my spike.
Gronkowski.
Oh, Nick, Paul. I was waiting for Fred to get that one because
I was going to say it, man.
So great job. It was Gronk.
Let's get it on.
I only got it because of the spike.
I know. Robbie was asking me. He said famous for they're not going to get. I was like, no, I think they might get that actually. Oh, that's funny. All right, so I'm putting in the score here, 5-1 right now. Right? 5. Hey, that's a 3-pointer if you get the connection. So it's 5-1. You can still come back though.
Let's go.
Come back. You got to.
Let's go.
You got to sweep this round though. So this is going to be big. So now remember, we're going to start this out and I'm going to give you. Actually, I'll throw in a little bonus. I'll give you an extra point if you can name who is the hot date number 2. All right, so let's play the clue. Like I said, just shout it out. when it comes down, and I gotta scroll all the way down, put all these videos in here. All right, here we go with the clues for date number 2.
I redshirted at Ohio State in 2015 behind Dwayne Haskins. My dad played college and pro football as well. And I love cigars after a victory. Who am I?
Joe Burrow.
Nick is owning you tonight, my friend. Woo!
Oh my God.
He's killing you tonight, bro. I don't know, man.
Jamar Chase too.
I mean, he got free. I just can't even believe he got Curtis Martin for you, did. I mean, I'm sorry, Wayne Corbett. Man, that's just embarrassing.
And Curtis Martin.
I knew Wayne Corbett. He just said it. I think I got a lag. That's why you're not hearing me.
That must be okay. That's it. I got it. All right, let's get on. We got to keep it moving. Let's go to contestant number 1.
I am the CEO of the Cincinnati Sizzle, a full-contact women's football team.
Contestant number 2.
I was college teammates with someone I was also teammates with in the pros.
Jamar Chase.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you guessing for contestant 2 already? Jamar Chase. I don't think I was going to make it that easy, did you? Come on now. I threw that in there just to mess with you. All right, let's go on to contestant number 3.
I was a basketball star and was a finalist for Mr. Basketball in Tennessee.
Any guesses? All right, let's go on to round 2 then. Contestant 1.
In my rookie year, I rushed for 1,066 yards and 15 touchdowns.
Contestant number 2.
I dropped out of high school and later enrolled in junior college where I started my football career.
Contestant number 3.
I scored as many touchdowns as DeAndre Hopkins and Sammy Watkins in only 3 years' time.
Any guesses? Oh, I made this especially hard because it was the last round. So all right.
So wait. So we're just gonna say a name for the contestant. That's it.
I'm gonna give you this. Yes.
So I could just do like number 3 is Chad Ochocinco. That's it.
Correct. So that's you make a guess on who you think. Now you want to try to make a connection with Joe Burrow, though.
Joe Burrow. I got you. Okay.
That's who you really. That's the money maker in there. All right, we're gonna fine tune this game as we get going. Maybe make the rules a little better. But let's go on. I'm gonna give you the last clues for the last guys. Let's hear them.
Sports Illustrated for Kids ranked my touchdown celebration as one of the best of all time.
Icky Woods.
I got it. I'm sorry about the lag because Nick got it again. Icky Woods, the Icky Shuffle was our guy. Congratulations on that one. Good call indeed. All right, let's go to clue number 2. Or sorry, my bad. Clue number 3 for contestant number 2. Let's see if you get it.
I'm famous for a commercial which my last name meant Fantasy Championship.
TJ Houshmandzadeh.
TJ Houshmandzadeh. Nick is Freddie tonight.
I didn't know that one. He got me.
Who's your mama championship? How do you not know that? TJ Houshmandzadeh. That was our guy there. All right, let's go on to the final one. Now, obviously, this is the connection to Joe Burrow. So let's see if you guys can snag this. This is going to be a toughie, though. Like I said, I made this extra tough for you. Here it is. The final clip.
I grew up a Bengals fan and modeled my game after A.J. Green.
Tyler Boyd.
I got to scroll all the way up.
I'm going to go with Jamar Chase.
You've already done that,
it's got to be Higgins.
You were already wrong, but here you go again.
So it's got to be T. Higgins.
Yeah, T. Higgins.
I think I heard Fred say it first, so I'm going to give it to him. Even though he doesn't win, T. Higgins is correct. All right, so good job. Final score was 8-4. So Nick, you are our winner tonight. Congratulations.
I want a rematch.
You, sir, win a box of chocolates courtesy of no one. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our Dynasty quarterback rankings. We're going to start getting into next season and a look ahead. So let's take a quick break.
I've been looking at next season since week 4.
I feel you. I had that same season. All right, let's take a quick break brought to you by our boys from Fired Up.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Giletto, and I'm the host of Fired Up, the podcast that puts a fire into Philadelphia sports.
Jalen Hurts stinks. He flat out stinks.
Along with my co-host Dom Consul, we take a dive into the world of the 4for4 sports fan. We analyze recent games, future games, rumors, trades, signings, sports gambling, and even Philly sports trivia. 29. 28?
It's just a random. There is nothing behind that. It is completely and totally random. You just thought of a random number, picked it out of your head. You just literally picked the number out of your ass, and you just went with it.
Was that? Am I right?
Totally incorrect.
With our weekly show, we have special guests, interviews, and much more. From outburst argument to outburst laughter, we shed light on the comedic side of talking Philly sports. If you enjoy the Sports Bar Talk, then you will enjoy Fired Up live Monday nights at 9 p.m. or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
You know what? I think Nick would be a perfect guest on Fired Up.
I agree totally. I'm gonna send a little message to them. I totally agree. We got to set that up.
Heck yeah.
I appreciate that.
We got to set that up indeed. All right, let's go on to our Dynasty rankings. All right, we're going into next year. Again, we'll talk about the Super Bowl next week, so we got plenty of time. We got a whole week to talk about it. Let's talk about our QBs. And Nick, we'll start with your list. Let's hear your list. Let's hear what you got and why you got them where you got them.
Okay, so I'll go 9 and 10. Fields and Hurts. To me, you're splitting hairs there. They're both young. They're both unproven. Hurts has got a little bit more under his belt, but again, give the benefit of the doubt, and being that it is a fantasy league, you want to go with the youth movement there. So I'll start my real analysis with Lamar Jackson.
It was before your fake analysis, or
well, like I said, I mean, there's really not much to go on with Hurts and Fields, and you're splitting hairs.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you also had them in the same slot, and I wasn't going to let that happen because, like, come on, bro, you got to pick and choose. But I know you got to have Hurts ahead, so that's why we're doing these lists. It's early; they're going to fluctuate. We got lots of time, so it was just, we just want to talk about next year. So go ahead.
All right, that's fine. So let's go to I'll go with number 8, Lamar Jackson. Again, the reason why I put him so low is, well, let's go with recency bias here. This last season, he's only had 2 300-yard passing games in weeks 3 and 4, and he's only had 1 rushing game. He's had 2 100-yard rushing games in weeks 2 and 9. So his most effective weeks essentially were weeks 2, 3, 4, and 9. Now, in 2019, he averaged 28 points per game, which was first. In 2020, he averaged 22 points per game, which was 10th. And last year, he came in at 20 points per game, which was 15th. So with the last 3 years, you can see he's really sliding down the rankings there. And again, he's only played 1 full season his entire career, and that was 2018. So he's injury prone now, and it's just not working for him. Yes, he puts up numbers, but not as much as he used to. So that's why I put him down at 8th. Russell Wilson at 7th. This year, he only had 1 300-yard game, which was week 2. He had in 2019, he had 20 points per game, which was 4th. 2020, 23 yards per game, which was 6th. And this year, 2021, he only averaged 17 points per game, which was 16th. The thing I believe more in Russell Wilson as I do is in Lamar Jackson, as if when you take away Wilson's legs, he can still get it done, whereas Jackson does not do as well if he cannot run. Dak Prescott, I have at number 6. He had 2 400-yard games this season, weeks 1 and 6. He had 3 300-yard games, weeks 5, 12, and 16. In 2018, he had 17 points per game, which was 10th. Then he came in at 2019 with 21 points per game, which is 2. Last year was a throwaway year because he got injured. So 2021, this past year, he had 20 points per game, which he's ranked 7th. So that's why I have him at 6th. And then 5th, I have Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he's spotty. He had 1 400-yard game this week. Week 2, he had 2 300-yarders this season. 2019, he was 7th ranked quarterback. 2020, he was 2nd, and this year he was 10th. So he's up and down. And then as far as Justin Herbert, he's up and coming. Not going to put out the stats on him because again he's a short body of work, but he's got a long road ahead of him, and he's going to have a lot of battles with my number 3 guy, which is Patrick Mahomes, and we all know about Patrick Mahomes. Now in my number 2, I put Josh Allen. Josh Allen was not very good his first year, and then exploded the past 2 years. He's coming on. He's going to be in your championship teams, in your championship games for years to come. Probably against either my 1, 2, and 3 guys, which is going to be Mahomes, Herbert, and my number 1 guy is Joe Burrow. I may be prisoner of the moment, recency bias, but Joe Burrow has got everything going for him this season. What separates Joe Burrow from everybody else on the list 1, 2, and 3, 4 for me is confidence. Joe Burrow is full of confidence. He doesn't care who he's got on the field. He's going to get it done. Sometimes when I watch the other guys, they look a little beleaguered. And Mahomes recently, he was running around like with a chicken with his head cut off, holding the ball too long, just throw it away. I think that cost him the game in the championship game. So that's why I have Joe Burrow number 1.
All right, let's go on and let Nick relax that jaw a little bit and have Fred talk about his list.
All right, there we go. My Dynasty quarterback rankings.
Wow! Grammar school 101.
My list is almost the same as Nick. I don't have Fields there. I have Trey Lance. We all know he's going to start this year as quarterback. He's only 21 years old. He's going to be in the league for the next 15, 20 years. He's coming to a great situation, great defense. You got Debo over there. I mean, you can't ask as a young quarterback to come into a better situation. Prescott, I mean, yes, he's 33. He's 28 years old. I still think he got a good 8 to 10 years in him. He's still playing on Dallas. They're still going to put up big points. Got Cooper if he stays. You still got CeeDee Lamb, so you already have a built-in team. I got Russell Wilson at 8. I think Nick had him at 7. Even though he's 33 years of age and he only got 5-6 years left, I think he's going to go to a better team this year and still show that he can do well. He's still got legs and he's still got his arm, so I definitely like him. I have Jalen Hurts 7. Now, that's because he runs like a maniac. I mean, this guy just runs the football. That's what he does. I mean, 782 yards and 10 touchdowns. You basically a running back, and you're still throwing for over 3,000 yards. So that's why I got him at 7. Herbert at 6. I got him because he's 23 years old, and he has a good team around him. I don't have him as high as the others. I don't know. I think he had just got blessed to have Eckler with him. They better hold on to Eckler, or it's going to be a hard time for Herbert. Lamar Jackson, he's 25 years old, but he's taking a beating. I think he's gonna this year really turn and learn how to throw his arm. But he can't always run the football. It just doesn't work out. But like I said, stat-wise, you can't ask for more. 767 rushing and over 2,800 yards throwing. And I think they're actually going to get him some help this year. I love Kyler Murray. 24 years old, has gotten consistently better, got the best coach in it because he's offensively minded. Okay. Joe Burrow 3. I'm a little bit confused. I like Joe Burrow right now. It's kind of like you said, the confidence is up. I don't think he's gonna win the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that next week. But I think he does have a decent team, and they got to re-sign everybody. Josh Allen now, he's 25 years old. He has only gotten better. Let's see what without Brian Dabble there, how he does. If he has another great season, he's a lock for the next 12, 15 years. My man Patrick Mahomes, how lucky did you get to get on a team with Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, and to know that you're got a mega contract the next 9 years there? I mean, there's nothing you've got it made. And you that man's gonna play for the next 10, 15 years, and he got a good coaching and Andy Reid. That's why I based it on coaching, players around them, and age.
Yeah, so if anyone's watched TSS Fantasy, they know that the Jester always recommends starting Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. He's on your stardom list for sure. All right, let's go on. I'm going to show you my list, and what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to start at the top because I'm going to point some things out in y'all's list that I'm find confusing. Number 1, Josh Allen, and why not? You guys are crazy. 2020, guess where he was in fantasy rankings? Number 1. Guess where he was this year? Number 1. He's young. He's nasty. Why would you not have him be number 1? So to me, I totally agree with you on Kyler Murray too. Again, I like him. I like the offense. It's offensive minded, I guess, so to speak. They're not looking to ground and pound you. They're looking to fling the ball over the field. So I like Kyler Murray going forward. Pat Mahomes been a little up and down as of late, but he's still Pat Mahomes. You mentioned still Travis Kelce, still the whole crew. So you got to go with Pat Mahomes. Justin Herbert, like what you see out of Justin Herbert. And again, the offense looked like it's there to stay for a while with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler resurgence. So I like that. Lamar Jackson, we talked about, regression in Lamar a little bit, but he's still Lamar Jackson. He still brings you those running yards, and that's important in fantasy at the end of the day. Now, Joe Burrow, you guys have him. You guys have him high. I don't have him as high as you guys. I mean, yeah, confidence is high. Great. Yeah, he's playing good, but he finished number 9 this year. It wasn't that great. He's top 10, but he's not, I don't think he's an upper echelon number 1. He's not you're not putting him in that tier with Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Pat Mahomes, in my estimation. I don't think Burrow is quite there yet. Now, someone you guys don't even have on your list. Number 7, Deshaun Watson. Do not forget, he'll be back. Finished 2020 at number 5 with which we've brought up many a times, a not so favorable team. So again, Deshaun Watson, wherever he ends up landing, he's going to be a moneymaker for you. And don't forget, he's young. And again, we're talking dynasty. When you do your dynasty rankings, you at least want to look at least 3 years ahead, and you definitely got that with Deshaun. Dak Prescott at number 8. Again, it's Dallas. It's the offense. You got CeeDee Lamb. You got Cooper. You got Zeke. Dak looks great. Again, he finished, number 8 this year to 2021. Last year, he's a little bit hobbled a little bit. So not hobbled a little bit, hobbled a lot of it. Again, but I like where he's placed there at number 8. Matt Stafford, he was somebody like I just was kind of like, somebody I didn't show enough respect to this season. I want to show him enough respect to get in my top 10. Again, the offense is set up for a while. And again, at least for the next 3 years, he's 34 years old. So you at least figure at least 3 more years for him in that offense. Trey Lance, I was debating on him or Jalen Hurts. The only reason I put Trey Lance was I like San Francisco's offense going forward, but Jalen Hurts is right out there from the outside. Now, we're going to close things out this evening with one quick thought. I just wanted to bring this up because we got to go. The Pro Bowl. Listen, NFL, do yourselves a favor. Play it on Super Bowl Sunday. We don't care about it. So play it on Sunday while we got nothing else to do, period. All right, guys.
10 seconds. No. Matt Nagy, you better not get a job with the Detroit Lions as the OC, and Gates better not get a job with New England as the OC. I'll be pissed off.
All right. We appreciate you, and we are out.